Hi everybody. I thought I'd do a quick video because, as with all of us, we're concerned about what's going to happen tomorrow, which is July the 4th, General Election Day in Great Britain. And for the first time in my life, I actually don't know who I'm going to vote for. It is the eve of the election day, and I haven't a clue. I really don't know whether I'm going to put a cross against a name or not, or am I going to spoil my ballot paper? I don't know. I'm going to seek inspiration when I get there and see what happens. The problem we've got is that the selection is so awful. You've got Labour and Conservatives. I mean, seriously, what is there? What have you got? You've got the Uni Party. Both their leaders are pretty much owned by the World Economic Forum, and whatever you vote for, the manifesto is a complete lie. You will get what they want to give you. That's it. Okay. Liberal Democrats. I don't know if you're aware, but one of their peers in the House of Lords is trying to bring in a disestablishment of the Church of England, which means that Britain will no longer be a Christian country. So there's something very odd going on with the Liberal Democrats. I don't even know what they stand for. The rest are so vague, apart from reform. And yes, you know, reform for me had the sort of the option. I felt maybe reform could be the party that makes the difference. But even then, I've got issues with Richard Tice, and some of their ideas don't necessarily resonate with me. Most importantly, the situation with Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Palestine, and also in regard to what they're going to do about vaccine harm. So I'm not sure. I really don't know. But the one thing I do know is that we are all in a very difficult situation right now. We really are. The world seems to be closing in on us, and the wickedness and the evil within the world seems to have reached a crescendo. If you just look around you, there's a madness around everything, and it's utterly reflected in the unspeakable wealth that people are exhibiting, showing off, and it's just horrendous. It's materialism gone mad. And someone said recently, I was talking to a lovely couple out for a walk, and they said, why is it all our politicians are so wealthy? Every single one of them is a millionaire. Okay, so how have we allowed this to happen? And I wrote something recently where I said, you know, is it that politics is a concept that has been invented by narcissistic psychopaths to give them power over us and to give them impunity? Because through politics, it appears they can do whatever they want, and we are powerless because they just say, this is it. This is how we do it. You have to follow us. Now, we're voting for them. Okay, we are in charge, not them. But something's been turned over, and we need to address that. In my view, I've always maintained that the only way through this is through faith and prayer. And I will encourage every single one of you, wherever you sit, wherever you stand in your walk of faith, please, 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 bear in mind these words. This is from the Bible. This is from Ephesians 6, verse 10. I'm going to read this out to you because I think this says it all. Finally, be strong in the Lord in his mighty power. Put on the full armour of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. And boy, oh boy, is he scheming right now. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore put on the full armour of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything to stand, stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith. with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. I implore you, pray now for the salvation of Britain. Pray now for all good people who want to see a righteous, good, beautiful Britain like we had many years ago. It was never perfect, but we have a chance to make it perfect. So I implore all of you, please consider this and think hard and pray hard before you vote. And even after that, we need prayer. God bless you all.